What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 29. Man, that is crazy. Episode 29 of Hobby Hotline, the hobby's only live call-in show, and the original, the OG, if you will, with a cast of characters, unique characters with over 200 years of hobby experience. But as always, guys, like we like to say, this show is all about you. So please, the link is in the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat. It is down there at the bottom. We want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. If there's something in the hobby that's going on, that even if you just want to vent about something, whatever it may be, this is your show. So feel free to call in anytime or just leave it into the comments. You don't have to do the video. You can do just the audio if you want. But this week, obviously, we're going with two of us this week as someone had an emergency. So they'll be back next week. But as always, my name is Drew, or as you know me as the DH from Let Me Get That Potograph. And joining me today from the Amazing About the Cards, you guys know him as Junk Wax Twins. Stephan, what's up, buddy?
Howdy. Not much. A fun, exciting work week. Drilled into a fun, exciting weekend. So
I hear you. Well, it's definitely a fun and exciting time in the hobby. I'll tell you that much. It's been a blast, which I'm sure we'll get to a lot of that later. But I know you and I were talking before the show, so I guess we'll start right here for a little bit. But yeah, but so by now everyone knows the National was canceled. Which, if you heard myself and Dr. Beckett talk on his show, we talked about how we knew it was going to be canceled. There was no way it was going to happen. It made no sense whatsoever, and you know, it was expected. But Stephan, it seems like that, at least from everything that I'm seeing, and I mentioned it a little bit on the show this week that drops today, that I think some places are going to really try and take advantage of not having the National by really putting some big shows out there. And it looks like we've got some places that are already doing that.
Yep, we. I know I've heard of a couple one-day shows, a couple two-day shows, and Dallas deciding to be extra special. Decided to host a 3-day show.
Yeah,
it's actually about 200-300 feet from me, right where I'm standing. I think they said there's 300 tables, so it should be interesting. And I'll be live reporting from the show here in a little bit.
Oh, really? So you're going to the show and everything?
I mean, covered, and I got hand gel, and I'm definitely staying 6 feet away just from body odor from everyone else. But
right. Well, yeah, I do that anyway. Yeah, exactly. I do that at the shows anyway. I hear you there. Social distancing at a card show is almost a necessity, at least if you don't want to lose your lunch.
Right.
But you know, that brings up, you know, the topic that we've talked about for a little while is shows during COVID. You know, during this COVID crisis. Now, granted, I think it's getting a lot better. I honestly think by national time, I'm not going to get political. I don't want to turn this into that, but I think it'll be a lot easier. And I think that's when you're going to actually start to have a lot of these events and live stuff start to come back. You're seeing a lot of this stuff already in certain places that weren't necessary hot zones and everything. But, you know, like you said, you're covering this show here, but I'm guessing that has a little bit to do with your job. So I guess my question to you would be: would you be going to this show? Would you be attending this stuff if it wasn't part of your job? What are your views? Like during this.
Well, so I mean, naturally, anytime I get a chance to give the bests and the worsts of, and spread our business. I mean, it's definitely a welcome opportunity. But no, I mean, you're starting to see some movie theaters come back, and not just drive-through, which I thought was really cool. Seeing the resurgence, revival, if you will, of the drive-up movie theaters. I mean, if you have a projector, you can do it. And sports is obviously a little different, but no, I mean, you can't find anything at retail for the most part, unless you're super lucky. You can't. I mean, trades online, yeah, sure, but I mean, you don't know how well that person is,
right?
You
can't see the card. From. You can't see the card.
Can't see it in person.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I probably would have probably will be only going one day. Yeah. As much as I like Kyle, as much as I like seeing Rich, I'm kind of a homebody anyway. But no, it should be fun. I think they're saying there's like 300 tables set up.
Nice.
It's in a huge convention center not far from work here. Open till 6. Should be fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I personally, there's a show today in Spartanburg that I was going to go to that I missed out. I've been to one since all of this, and I'm with you. As long as you take the precautions, I think you're good to go. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about COVID because I've said the word so much it drives me crazy. But you mentioned something that I wanted to touch on today, and I really want some listeners' opinions. Please call in, guys. Give us your opinions on this because I'll tell the story here in a little bit, but I want to preface the actual topic. And that is, you talked about you can't find retail anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really want to touch on, at least for a little bit, unless anyone has any questions, the future of retail in the hobby. Okay. Because the way it's looking to me, first of all, I'll guarantee you in a couple of months when Prism comes out next year, they're $30 to $40 blasters. They will not be $20. They will be $30 to $40 blasters. You're going to already start to see some major increases in prices. Mm-hmm. But with everything that's going on now, it's getting to the point where ML Holdings, Anderson, and all of these places are involved in a lot of very illegal dealings right now. And I know for a fact, as I just found out this week, that there's a federal investigation going on into them in North Carolina right now. And when I see this and I see how the whole distribution method I've always thought is completely screwed. But when I look at this, it really makes me think, I mean, I've already been told for a fact by Walmart's reps, I contacted corporate, they will not be putting them ever behind lock and key. So it's either they get rid of them or it stays the way it is. It will not be behind lock and key at Walmart. So, what do you think the future of retail is here? Because I honestly see a massive, massive change coming, and I think it could be for the worse for those people like myself who have to drive an hour to a hobby shop.
Well, so I've heard some of the same rumblings. I personally think that it would make more sense for them to put it behind some sort of glass display case, the electronics section or whatnot. Now, I get why Walmart may not want to do it. It's not their section. They're not technically providing it, so it's not really like they have to go out of their way. But I mean, even going back to when I was a child, I remember them having them out by the drink section, just individually in individual rack rows. And yeah, sure, that was ripe for theft. But with everything blowing out, I don't know whether a limit is required, or there's some rumors that Target's pulling out of the market. entirely.
Yeah, and that I'll go on and expand that that was something I was about to answer. That is something that is being discussed at Target.
Sure.
Now, right now, a lot of them are doing the limits. They're placing limits on things, but there has been conversation that they're going to get out of it entirely. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Like if they lose Walmart and Target as their distributors, retail becomes nothing more. It almost turns into Walgreens and LCSs, and then the hobby. It's almost like their plan to take retail out of Target and Walmart, put that stuff to the LCS, and then go direct to consumer with all their big products. I mean, it really seems like they're trying to change the retail distribution method in this hobby slowly but surely. But don't call me Shirley. And we actually, on that note, we do have a caller on the line.
Cool.
We're going to bring him in right now, Mr. Kevin Jones. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody. It's been a while. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, I just I've noticed like everybody else, the retail is super tough to find. I think it really started. I feel like when the Chrome update came out last year for baseball, and then even more so with Optic. And I found myself actually driving around trying to find Optic basketball last year, and then just realized, what the heck am I doing?
Well, the first time I ever saw it, and the first time I ever can remember going places and seeing people actually waiting, was when the Otani mega boxes came out. I think that might have been the start, but then you even had 20 or 30 products that no one cared about. Now it's every product.
Yeah, I'm a returner in the last 18 months to the hobby, so I definitely probably missed that. But my Walmart, where I normally go, that's super close, I think they've stopped carrying cards. The section where the cards used to be has been replaced by batteries behind a glass case, essentially.
Yep.
Which is kind of a bummer because, I hop in and out of the hobby on and off for years, and I would always walk by the card aisle and just kind of see what's out there. Usually I'd grab, a box of maybe Heritage. That was something that I always liked, or just kind of see what the flagship looked like.
Sure.
So it was always fun to kind of just walk by and look, and I can only imagine what I passed up on over the years. But this Walmart's in kind of a lower income area, but it's sad to see. I think it's gone. I've asked customer service, and they said that the rep came and picked everything up. But even at that Walmart, it was getting really hard to find stuff, and I found that only if you stumbled across it by accident was about the only way you could find something.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely. Now at our Walmart right now, last week I went up to go see if I could pick up a Blaster of Chronicles to open, and the lady said a guy came and picked them up yesterday and spent about $3,000 and bought everything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? The rep doesn't come till Friday. And she said, no, he had someone go to the back, grab all 3 of the racks, give them to him. He took them to the front. So they never even made it to the floor. The ML holding rep never even touched the box. And you've got managers of these places doing this stuff. I know other Walmarts here where literally employees are paid off to call and tell people when stuff comes in. So people are there waiting, and they hide it. As soon as it's out on the shelf, they mosey their way over there, take it, they go take it, and they hide it. I mean, there's a lot of issues with this stuff that's going on right now. And that's where I look at it with Walmart. Walmart and Target, like you said, it's their space. All they care about is the money. But it's going to get to the point where, luckily, I live in a small town, so there's 2 or 3 of us maybe that chase after it. I can only imagine Chicago or somewhere where there's 40 people at a Walmart standing there, crowding for hours waiting on somebody. Right. And so it's a dangerous precedent that they're kind of setting here. And it's really interesting that they're not making any sweeping immediate changes, because that makes me think a big change is coming.
Well, here's what I've, and kind of to bounce off that, here's Definitely, I think stuff is getting backdoored out of the big box stores. There's no doubt, whether
Absolutely.
it's employees,
No.
whether it's people who have a connection to the rep.
No way,
whatever it is.
Kevin. No way.
Definitely stuff getting backdoored out. But here's what I've been on my soapbox, kind of throwing this out
Hop on
some of the message boards, and I was kind of wondering what you guys thought about this.
Yeah.
Is what if Topps and Panini with the retail product, not hobby, leave hobby as it is, but what if they began to start to do like an open pre-sale period, say like what Topps has been doing with that T206, but with retail products where you go on the website, you can reserve, say, X amount, 5 blasters, 5 hangers, 5 cellos.
Right.
Pre-sale windows open for, say, 7 to 28 days, depending on the product. And you basically get it, either they farm it out to the holding company to ship it to you, or Topps and Panini does it direct. You know, and then maybe reducing the amount that actually makes it onto retail shelves based on what the demand has been. I mean, what do you guys think about doing something like that, like a rolling pre-sale period, where people could get like 5 boxes of Prism basketball?
Well, Steph, you take this first because I got a lot to say here.
So one thing, I do kind of agree. I wish that they would run with something like that. It's not a horrible idea. It negates the need for bots, because if everybody can get access, or just a lottery system like Topps has done most recently, where 1,000 people enter and 30 people get one, okay, fine. At least that way it's somewhat fair. You're not running the issue where I ran into with Diamond Kings first off the line, where I was waiting for the final price drop. I was going to buy 3 additional boxes. Instantly, system lag, sold out.
Right.
It negates that. I
mean, sorry to jump in, but you can still do like exclusives, you know, like finest flashbacks and stuff like that, where there's a set amount, but for like the main kind of flagship products, you know, I don't know. Anyway, sorry to hop in there.
No, you're good.
You're good, bud.
I do like it also because it helps get the people like yourself that would just want to try one blaster box or one rack pack just for funsies, just to see what the design is that year, or see what players are in it. Not necessarily because they're chasing Lewis Robert or Luka Doncic or any of these other huge top guys. They just want to see the product. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. The hobby should be expanding to meet both demands.
Yes.
Not just the prospect chasers, but the people that want to build a base set. So, I mean, Series 2, even, it's impossible to find.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what about the people that have a complete Topps flagship run from, say, 1971 to now? Well, now they can't find Series 2.
Exactly.
Right. No, and that's I agree with you completely. A couple of comments on here. When you said, you know, that would stop bots, the only thing that'll ever stop bots, because there's ways around those bots even when they do it the way they do it, is to go the shoe release method, where you go in, you sign up, and you get an email saying yes you won or yes you did. That's the only way that's ever going to stop, and until they do that, that's not going to happen. But to what you're talking about with retail, I actually think this is exactly what the companies want, and it's exactly where it's headed, and it's exactly their plan all along. Because what would Topps and Panini and name any company as we just use them, but Upper Deck, Leaf, everyone, what would they rather do? Deal with distributors, all this other go through 3 middlemen to get the cards on the shelves, or direct to consumer? They want to do direct to consumer. They always want to. And so you'll see them every once in a while throw up some, you know, hobby boxes and stuff like that on their own website. You're starting to see a lot of direct to consumer releases with finest flashbacks, T206s, well beyond just the Topps Now sets. I'm really seeing, I mean, I see this as them moving towards more direct to consumer in terms of releasing stuff. And I could easily see them doing that with retail, or like I said, turning the retail into almost what the LCSs are accustomed to getting. Like a lot of stuff could change from all of this. If they go to direct to consumer on their website, then LCSs are only going to be able to get what they can get from the website, meaning that the quote unquote retail would turn into an LCS version because that's what they'd be able to get. I mean, I honestly think that this is where they want to go with all of this, is to eliminate the ML holdings, eliminate all of this, and almost, I mean, I don't think they care if it's Walmart or Target now. 5 years ago, they needed Walmart and Target. Now, they don't. Yeah, Toys R Us. 5 years ago, they needed those places. Now, they don't need any of them. It's going to sell out no matter where you sell it. You sell it on the corner store, you sell it on the corner of the street, it's all going to sell out. But 5 years ago, they needed Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, and I've had some people say, well, how do you figure out the odds for everything? I'm like, they could figure out what's printed and what's needed, and then it'd take them 5 seconds to figure out the odds on everything, kind of based on pre-sales, and then the amount that they still release into the wild that can be gobbled up by bots or flippers or whatever. They you'd still put some out on the shelves, but I think they have a pre-sale window, and then there would always be pre-sale windows probably going too, because of so many products. But it's just curious. It's been kind of a mixed response to that, but I feel like direct to consumer is definitely something that is the future, and I'd like to see it that way, because I like to just collect like a couple unopened boxes, because I kind of like the way it looks. Right.
Sure. Right. 100%.
I just can't drop $100 on a box of Optic or something,
right?
That I'm not going to open.
And that's the crazy thing, is the wax. Like, we talk about all this, we talk about how they want to pull stuff out and all this, but the wax prices are soaring. They're quadrupling. I mean, Chronicles hangers up to $60, $80. They'll probably be up to $100. And the resale market on the secondary market is showing the value is there. I mean, there's so much. I mean, you're actually now, whether that's sustainable is up to debate. I think we have a lot of people in this industry now that weren't in it during the junk wax or overproduced era, and a lot of kind of safeguards to prevent that total collapse again. But I do think, there's always going to be ups and downs. But the wax right now is flying off the shelves. It's flying. You can't keep it there, even with all of these ridiculous jump ups. It's insane. But it is really interesting, Kevin, and it's a really good question on what's going to happen, because I guarantee you something is going to change, because ML Holdings, Anderson, all those people, they're getting sick of it. The distributors can get fired for that type of stuff. They're tired of it. They're complaining to bosses. There's a lot of problems going on in the distribution market.
Well, you're starting to see incidents that I've been reading random accounts. I don't know if they're true or not, but like people are starting to get in fights over it and chasing people out into parking lots. And
listen to this week's. Let me get that.
Sick of being stalked by guys following her around town all day. I mean,
listen to this week's episode. Let me get that potograph, and you'll hear a crazy story that happened to me the same way. It's nuts, man.
Or last week's about the cards, where James was discussing his incident in retail. No, and that's the worst part, is that the last 2 years, for the most part, I've built the Top Scrum update, which you'd mentioned. Yeah. Set minus one card, and you guys can guess which, but 2018. A great fun set. Love ripping the retail. I like seeing the pinks or purples or whatever the color they choose this year that come out of the individual 3-pack cellos. And I'm not looking forward to this year, just because I know it's going to be impossible to find. And I kind of have a store or two that's lesser hit, so I know where to look. But I literally have every single insert, every single base card minus that one. That
which one?
I want to have.
Which one?
Acuna, 2018.
Oh, okay.
Number 55. I have a good run at one here locally. It's $50-$60. Just
let's get that man in Acuna.
Yeah, Trade Factory said for it.
Is it the mega box? The mega box one?
The Topps Chrome update.
Oh, Topps Chrome. Okay.
Yes.
Never mind.
No, it's one of those where I've loved ripping it. It's a great fun set to pull. Occasionally you have a couple of good prospects, but I just like the set. Much like Diamond Kings, much like Ginter, it's one of those that just appeals to me. And retail, it's kind of hard to find.
Absolutely. Well,
I know it's not basketball, but
yeah, I know, right? All right, Kevin. Well, thanks so much for the call, man. It's been a while, so good to have you back. Hope all is well.
Always appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Stay safe, man. All right, and on that note, we actually have another caller. Great call, by the way. Guys, call in anything you want to talk about. If we're talking about wax and you want a 180-degree flip to talking about 1920, whatever, I don't care. Call in. This is your show. But speaking at that note, it looks like he's at a show right now. But the man himself, TX Car Dude, what is going on, buddy?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Sweet. No, I'm at the Texas show.
Ah.
I got some guy right there.
See, he's not sitting there today.
I know. Uncle Rich. What's up, Uncle Rich? So what's up, buddy?
Hey, Drew. What's going on, buddy?
How's it going, Rich?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, my man.
So we're sitting here standing side by side. We're actually sitting and I'm standing, and we're digging through boxes, man.
Nice.
Boxes, having a great old time.
Find me some Kendrick Nunn.
Well, I need to find me some Kendrick Morales is what I need to find.
Find me some dime boxes.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff here. This place is pretty nice. There's all sorts of people here. People are wearing masks. There's distancing going on. It's
great.
Are they doing a good job enforcing everything, making everyone feel safe? Is it a nice, solid, setup they got going?
Yeah, I walked around a little bit and then I jumped back in right here onto these cards. They're calling to me to dig in, man.
Right.
And they're calling. I'm like cookie, man. They're calling me.
I get it.
I hear you. So what's going on, man?
Not much. Had a pretty good week. Didn't find anything interesting. It's been kind of a slow week. Actually, I was kind of surprised. I was wondering if everybody else has experienced any slow trading or anything this week, or is it just me? And
it's just you, at least if we're comparing me. I've been going crazy this week.
Let me tell you, you saw my office. You visited my office. Right?
I'm in the office.
Yeah.
Yes, plenty. He's got so many. He's got cards among cards among cards.
Oh, there's at least 6 new boxes that I haven't that weren't here last time we were here 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's all sorts of fun. But if you're anywhere in the area, calm down now. Have some fun. I'm here. I'm going to be here probably most of the day. Yeah.
Nice.
I plan on going. I told the wife that I wouldn't be back home until at least 6. So, we're going to be here for a while. So come on down. I can't wait to see Steph. Can't wait to see Angela. Can't wait to see everybody. But mom down. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great day, man. Hope everything works out well. Give Uncle Rich our best, of course.
I'll give a big floppy hug for you.
There you go. There you go. Have a good one, bud. Thanks for calling in.
All right, y'all have fun.
Speaking of Rich, and this is a teaser for him for afterwards, but got a huge stack of Topps buybacks, including possibly the oldest one I've seen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, so 58?
Yeah, so we've actually got a question from YouTube here. I don't know who the user is. For someone, it just says YouTube. Maybe that's the name they're using.
Sure.
But yes, I was talking about Topps Chrome centering on this week's podcast with only one front border, like the half side. I'll pull one out. You have the half side border, and then I was referring to the back. what I was stating, which is what I'm guessing that you're talking about, I'll show you right here. If you're looking for a way to, it's not foolproof, but if you look at 50 of them, it'll be instant which ones are the centered ones. But on the back, you will notice after the stats, there is a little line at the bottom. At the bottom, there's that little line.
Little gray.
Yeah, the little gray area at the line. If you line those up and you look at those, you'll instantly be able to see the ones that are centered in terms of the back. Now, in terms of the front, you're going to have to go looking at the outline of, on Prism, we were looking at the outline of the Zion rookie card logo. Right here, you're going to be wanting to look at the outline of where their nameplate is. Okay. So that's what I was discussing on 2 ways to save you about 50 minutes per card when you're trying to see if that Robert's worth subbing, which I'll go on and give you the answer. Yes, sub it. But that's what that was. But
I was not too long ago, speaking of 2018 Topps Chrome update, and Topps update for that matter, Juan Soto's card. There is a particular centering issue wherein if you get the and I'm going to
pull this out right here to show you.
Wrong button. Doop, 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 boop. You'll hit share on that. I'll show them.
Yeah, I got it.
The W gets cut off on this edge. So there are some that have slight space.
Which is exactly why mine got a 9. Exactly why mine got a 9.
But some people chase the slightly more visible W, whereas you'll get it's a good way to gauge on whether yours is centered for that card in particular.
Yes, absolutely.
Walgreens W.
Yep, that Walgreens W. All right, so it looks like the show's going good. That's nice to hear. I like to see the shows, start to kick back into gear. I think it's needed. I think it's. I really think it is. I think it's something that's very important. But it's good to see that there's a solid amount of people there, it looked like, and it seemed like it was going good.
Oh, absolutely. So speaking on the previous topic, I got one for you.
Sure.
In that we were talking about different distribution methods and talking about in the future more, say. But here's one for you. Pull me up.
Oh, yeah. Here.
This card came from 84 Fleer Update. Now, Fleer Update came in the little factory, little mini box set. And as far as I understand, you had to actually order them. So my question is, because the person who shared this said, I'm 46. It's probably time I get this card. I've wanted it since I'm 11.
Right.
What's one of the more difficult, rarer, harder to find cards that you guys are chasing?
That's a good question. Yeah, call in and let us know what you guys, some difficult cards that you're chasing. Now, mine, I can give you my answer right now.
Sure.
I'm a Bryce Williams super collector. I have his entire Prism draft picks rainbow. I have every one of one, but 3 out of all of his cards that he's ever had. But my elusive card has always been the Super Bowl ticket of Contenders draft picks from 2016. I don't know if it's ever been pulled. It's that old school design. I don't know if it's ever been pulled, what it is, but that Bryce Williams 101 is kind of like my white whale, that and the non-autoed. But those would be my 2. I'd know that instantly, but I'd love to hear from everybody of what they're
Oh, and he just left. Should be back momentarily to fill time here. I'm chasing down a couple. like the David Ortiz rookie from Fleer and Leaf. There he is.
Yeah,
Welcome back. It happens.
StreamYard plays around. Those would be mine in a heartbeat.
So I was telling them that I'm kind of chasing down a David Ortiz rookie from Leaf or Fleer, like 1998, 97, somewhere in there when he was still David Arias.
Right.
But also, and not even the Tiffany version, just a regular version. Most people seem to have plucked them from the donate box, from the dime, quarter, nickel box. So just finding one that's reasonable. And I'm kind of on a hunt for a no paper loss, reasonable Walter Johnson T206.
Nice. Now, see, I've got a couple other ones. I'm searching for a lot of old Patrick Waugh stuff, a lot of stuff like that. But those would definitely be the big ones because I want to finish my Bryce Williams collection. I'm so close. When you've got like 15 101s and he has 18, you want to finish it all off. So I'm right there. That's where I've been chasing. But I think that's one of the cool things about the hobby, that makes it so much fun. You get those elusive cards that you chase forever. You meet amazing people while you're doing that, while you're trying to do that. I mean, I think that's one of the things that kind of gets lost in the hobby sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we see there's two answers here in the chat. 1990 scorer Earl Cunningham autoed in blue Sharpie after 15 years of looking.
Wow.
As well as 2003 Udi Victory Red and Purple, which are very hard to find.
Congratulations. That's awesome to finally get that after that long. I think that's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. And guys, remember, if you would ever like to show off your collection, Hobby Heart of the Hobby, my new show, I would love to have you show off your collection sometime. So definitely let me know. But guys, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. We would love to hear from you on this topic or any other topic, anything in the hobby that you'd want to talk about. There's one thing I'd like to touch on before we wrap up a little bit that I'd like to kind of get your opinion on. Mm-hmm. Unless anyone has something that they want to call in and ask about. But I don't know if everyone heard this week, but Topps partnered now on this week's episode of my show that drops this week. The head honcho himself of this company will be giving his first ever interview since they announced this. So you can check it out tonight. But Topps partnered with a company called Rally. Mm-hmm. And Rally is basically... it's a good thing Ben's not on this show. I think his head might explode at the discussion we're about to have, but they're literally turning things like cars, shoes, things like that is what they've been focusing on before into like IPOs, so to speak, into where you can buy shares. But now they're moving into the card market, even partnering with Topps. Mm. When you see something like this, what do you think? I mean, this is something pretty big.
So I'll give you mine, and then I'll give you because me, Ben, and Tim have discussed this as well. I like the idea of it, but and it's definitely huge. I mean, they're offering, I think, the 10 sets, 2 are staying at Topps, and I think they're shooting for like 10,000 each, something to that effect. So they did this with the Honus Wagner previously, where they offered out however many shares at however much.
Yeah.
And it was really a novel concept, but my and Ben's only real complaint was, as collectors and hobbyists, is there like a timeshare custody version of that?
Yeah, exactly.
It stays with me for a week, and then it goes to this guy for a week. And Ben, being the super team collector that he is, he wants like somebody to break theirs and give them out individually. And I think the concept is that there are X amount per the factory set. So 50.
You are correct there. And
so he'd have to buy 28. 30, 25, 20, however many A's there are in the set. I don't know. I'm not an A's collector. To get his guys. And I think the concept is that they're going to be random as well.
Yeah.
So good luck.
My biggest thing is really now. You'll hear a lot more about it on this week's show that comes out tonight. But my biggest thing was, it's locked up in a vault. Therefore, you don't actually have that. You don't hold the card. You don't have a version of the card. Now, if there's a way for them to do like blockchain does, to where you could get like a certified reprint, whatever it may be,
Sure.
so you could display that proves that you're part owner of your shares or something, it's
digital
pretty
PDF.
Yes, there you go. Anything. I mean, that's what it comes down to. But it really, quad currency makes a great point. Is that the whole concept is? Well, let me pull it up here. The whole concept will bring more money and more awareness to cards, which is a good thing if you like value. And I completely agree like that as well as this. It gives people like him and myself. I would never be able to go after these LeBrons and these Kobes and these crazy things. But to tell you the truth, after interviewing him and after hearing everything he had to say, this is an interview you will not want to miss. I actually signed up immediately when we were done, and I've already started jumping in. I've already picked what I'm going after out of next, and I actually really like the concept. I think it's 10,000 times. They looked at blockchain. Topps is always reactive. They never do anything first. They watched Panini's blockchain, and they probably did what everyone else did and laughed their ass off and figured out how to do something kind of similar, but successful. And that's what they've done here. And I think this partnership with Rally, which is just the beginning, as you'll hear, I really see this as a massive subset of the hobby. Do I think this is where the hobby's going? Do I think it's always going to be like that? No. But I think this is a great way to do certain things and to expand the hobby. Let's be honest. It doesn't always have to be just buy a box and open the pack. Why can't we expand the hobby? Why can't we make other ways to enjoy things that we like to do? You know what I mean? And I see this as one of those things personally.
So again, like I said, I like the idea, and especially of the individuals. It seems so. For example, in the games world, you have games where a company will release it, and then another company will take their spin on it, and then inevitably Nintendo will come by and super polish it and make it like the best version of that game type version.
Right.
Whatnot. You see it with Zelda Breath of the Wild for the open area, open arena, Skyrim-esque games, and there's nothing wrong with that. Topps saw that this was a market that they could go to, and they branched out and said, "Hey, this is our version of it, and let's put it out." And run with it. And again, I like the idea. I just don't know, 50 years from now, is someone to end up with a full factory set, or is someone to be chasing down the one version of Bryce Harper that never came out, that's impossible to find? I mean, I just don't know how that... strictly, so I mean, so if you open like a pack of Series 1, Series 2, you end up with like the clear cut number to 10, and hey, that's cool, but you're not getting all 750 of them,
right?
Right. I don't know. It's
going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and I think like anything, you're going to have some hits and you're going to have some misses. There's going to be some that are massive failures, and then you're going to have probably some cards that do incredibly well there that show the value that it does have. But it's definitely an interesting thing moving forward. And before we wrap it up, while we're talking about digital cards, did you hear the news about Topps Now?
No. What are
they are now going to be starting, if I read this correctly, please, everyone who got a chance to dive into this 10 times more than I have so far, they're going to be inserting random colored parallels and random parallels into the packs now. So let's say you order like a 10 pack, you could actually get like 9 regulars and then something numbered out of something. I think that's I think that's something they should have done a long time ago. And I think that brings a little more added value to Topps now, which I thought was pretty cool.
Sure, and we've seen that with their individual on-demand products. It's not necessarily something that's new to them. If they're dropping it that way, or even in place, not necessarily in place of, but in addition to the 10 that you order, that's kind of cool. I can just see some hobby shop in the middle of Missouri ordering 5 Albert Pujols cards for some commemorative 20 years on commemorates or whatever, getting one of these numbered to 5s and expecting, hey, no, but I sold the base card and now I can't get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, before we do wrap up, we do have one more caller at least calling in, so we're going to go on and bring him in on the line now, and that is Leighton. How's it going, bud?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey guys, how are you today?
Great.
Doing good. This is Leighton Shelton, everybody, owner of Just Collect and Vintage Breaks. So how's everything going, bud?
Great. Just had a nice little breakfast with the family, and I was listening to you guys for a few minutes chat about the hobby. And I figured I would call in for a few minutes and say hi.
Cool.
Awesome.
Nice talking to you again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've been talking a lot today about the Topps Rally collab and really the future of retail in the hobby as have you gotten a chance to look too much into the Rally collab at all that Topps has done?
I looked at it for a few minutes. Like, I didn't spend enough time on it to really understand. I mean, I roughly know what it is.
Right.
Sure. I didn't really think about the forget offering.
Right. Well, while we got you on the line here,
but
what's that?
Oh, no.
Cutting out me?
Okay, well, hold on. It looks like we were breaking up a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, Leighton, while I got you here. I know you obviously with Just Collect and Vintage Breaks, you guys deal with wax all the time, and we were talking earlier about the future of retail in the hobby, and the future of distribution in the hobby, and where exactly this is all going, as there's a lot of issues that are going on right now, yet wax prices keep soaring every single week, whether it be retail, hobby, or whatever. Do you I'll go on and ask you what we asked everybody else earlier. Do you see retail staying its course, or do you think we're about to see a major change, at least in terms of Walmart, Target, how retail is distributed?
Well, I feel like, Drew, you're probably a little bit more in tune than myself to, the exact going-ons of retail and the distribution and such. But, on a macro level, it seems that demand is really high. It's really funny, and I see, Stephen, your tagline or your name, Junk Wax Twins. Yep. Some folks, maybe the ones that are looking at the glasses half empty, are saying we're in another junk wax era. And I'm thinking, well, for those that have lived through the junk wax era, you guys understand that there was never a shortage of product. That was the issue. Meaning, like 91 Donruss, hey, you want 37 cases? No problem. Sure. You want 187 cases? No problem. Exactly, as you're showing it off, Stephen. So I find it really interesting that folks think that we're in a junk wax era again, when Target and Walmart can't even keep Topps Series 1 and 2 packs and stuff.
Exactly.
So
that's one of the things the companies are doing a great job of, is not overproducing to induce that market.
Yeah, but I think, Stephen, per that, and Drew, what happens is it drives up the prices of stuff. Sure. And I've now heard, I talked about this earlier this week on a Vintage Break show, and some other things I've done as well, that, folks, whether it be a collector, Stephen, whether it be it's your son, you run into the Target and you're real upset that they don't have what you're looking for. And I can understand. That's really frustrating. My son's 5, so when we go to Target, we don't generally go to buy cards, we go to buy toys. And I know your son, Drew, is, I think, similar in age to Kraz, and I think he's just getting into cards. And so my point is, like, as a dad, Stephen, do I think it would be really frustrating, flustering, or upsetting that every single time I went to Target or Walmart there wouldn't be anything? Absolutely.
Sure.
But I also think that maybe that's a parallel to life, meaning it's not going to always go the way that you want. So if you think that, you're going to show up and they're always going to have the toy you want, you're going to go to the ice cream store and they're never going to run out of your favorite flavor, I just think you're setting up your kids for disaster.
Sure.
So, I don't mean to, to sound, righteous and all, but my point is, like, come up with another solution. And so if it's, if we're talking about the kids, let's be honest here, if that's what it is. And so, one of the things I was going to do, how often do you guys run the hobby hotline? Every week?
Yes, every single week.
Yeah, so Drew, one of the things I was going to do this week, because I don't go to Target very much, generally it's with the wife's permission, because we're picking up a birthday gift or something, and I'll run in with my mask because we're in New Jersey and COVID is, people are still here are wearing masks. I'm going to run in and I'm going to buy whatever is left. I'm going to buy an assortment of stuff. I'd like to give it out in the hobby hotline. Now, I know I saw it the other day.
Wow.
It's going to be wrestling stickers. It's going to be Tops only game. But the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's for a 5, 6, or 7-year-old kid.
Right, exactly.
So my point is, if the adult collectors that are out there are truly upset, that's different. But if you are upset for your son, for your cousin, for your niece, your nephew, for the young collectors like Todd C. was pointing out earlier, I think that's a very reasonable and rational point. And I think that hopefully moving forward, whether it be it's Tops, it's Panini, it's Upper Deck, it's a player to be named later, they're going to continue to produce, and I forgot the name of the issue, it escapes me. I think it was called Opening Day. Continue to produce at least one product, right? They are a business. You can't fault them for having 10 different lines. But why not have, at the very least, the ability to, have 1 or 2 kids products every year. If it ends up getting bought up by adults, then you made it too good, so to speak.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, right?
No, seriously,
legit, yeah.
If opening day was too good because there's long shot inserts, great. Then dumb it down a little bit. And if you end up, lose a little bit of money, I still think it could make a great loss leader for both those individual companies. And then, of course, the hobby in general wants more young people collecting. I know you guys are running out of time here, but I did want to kind of touch upon, what happens, if you find yourself in a spot where you're, someone who went to the Target or Walmart and you're upset, you can't find what you're looking for, you're really upset at the flippers. I don't think we have enough time to kind of give you my full take on it, but I think in general, chill out. And what I mean is, there's other ways that you can collect. There's other things that you can do. Make friends so that when you do make a score, spread the wealth. So that the next time that someone goes, they're going to hook you up. Listen, Drew, we're on camera, I know, but Drew, he hooks me up as just as his buddy. I'm opening this stuff. So sometimes it goes the other way. And so I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's close the show with this. We have a fantastic event. You guys stop at noon today, right?
Yes.
Thereabouts.
Yeah. So we have a fantastic event ending at vintagebreaks.com this weekend, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern time, where if you buy any spot at all in any break, Stephen, for as little as $3, by the way, shipping included, you get into a promo that you could find out all the details at event.vintagebreaks.com. There's dozens of prizes. Top prize in our buying spot promo is a 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle PSA 1.5. So imagine going home with that after buying a spot in a 1980s wax pack for $3 and walking home with a 53 Mantle. I know you'd have to check my diaper. So, anyway, check it out. If you have any questions at all, hit up Drew. I'm sure he'll help you. Go to vintagebreaks.com.
Sure.
We're actually going to be live all day today till midnight, all day tomorrow from noon to midnight. But this is what I wanted to say. This is about hobby love. So, Drew, you remember you bought me some Panini Prism 2019 hanger boxes, and you remember I was just getting back into modern. I'm like, sure, Drew, I'll buy some. Lo and behold, what are they worth today? Like 300?
Yeah.
Great. So what I'd like to do is let's take one of those boxes, which thankfully I did not open yet.
Wow.
And I'd like you to give that away to your hobby hotline community. You decide how to give it away.
Okay. And that's what kind of box again?
It's 2019 Prism basketball hanger box. So the one where you can get the orange.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah. I remember when I got you those.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I got a big box. I thought it was Christmas. I remember opening a bunch of those like I thought they were candy.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, I guess I'll just open another one. I'm going to take a break at work. So thankfully, Drew, because I've had to work from home a bunch more in the last few months, I haven't opened every last one.
Right.
So let's give one of those away.
Awesome.
Someone on the hobby hotline. And like I said, you and Steven decide the best way to do this. But really, thank you to everyone out there who's keeping the hobby strong. And don't let it get you down. If you don't find something you're looking for, there's always folks that are looking out for you. Whether it be Vintage Breaks or Just Collect or folks like Drew and Steven from the Hobby Hotline, there's a lot of hobby love out there. You just got to know where to look.
Absolutely. Well, Leighton, thank you so much for not only the giveaway, but just everything. You guys, you're top notch in the hobby. If you guys don't know, Leighton does a podcast called Leighton's Loft as well, which is absolutely excellent. Definitely check it out. But thanks for joining, Leighton.
Yeah, I'd love to chat again.
Thanks for having me, guys. Take it easy.
Have a good one. All right. Well, hey, that was a nice surprise. That's a big giveaway right there.
Oh,
Prism hanger box, man. That's a big one. So
very huge.
So Stephan, how do you want to do this giveaway before we wrap it up? We'll announce how we'll do it. How should we do this one?
Do you want to tie it into Monday's show? Somehow leave comments, retweet the show.
Yeah, there you go. How about I'll make a post. Okay. I'm going to make a post when this show's over promoting Monday's show.
Cool.
You retweet that show. You retweet that, obviously, and then you have to follow us, and everything, and then you're entered. And we'll do it that way. And then someone on Monday will random it off, and we'll have a winner.
Sounds great.
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
So awesome. Well, there you go, guys. The 2019 Prism hanger box to end the show. So, and guys, like I said, to end the show, my Twitter. Hey, there you go. Baseball. Oh, that's awesome. There you go. Card currency. Mine is LGTP podcast. It's let me get that potograph. But we guys, thanks so much as always for hanging out with us. I know it's just the two of us today. We will be back as always on Monday. I will put that post up right now so you guys can begin entering in and sharing and getting all that action. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the calls. We need more, so keep calling in. We want to know your guys' comments. This is your show. Stephen, thanks so much for joining, bud. It's a pleasure as always, man.
Looks like on Monday we got Tim, Drew, you're back again, and Mike Sommer.
Beautiful. So, yes, we'll give that away this week. So, guys, be on the lookout. It's going to be a fun one. But y'all have a great weekend.
Y'all too. Stay safe.
Perfect.